everybody, this is Ginger and this is Ginger's Chat Show. And good afternoon. I hope all is well where you are. Had a wild weekend this past weekend. We had a storm roll through here and it caused some power outages in some places. Um, I There was some trees blowing around here. Uh, Neighbor across the way, the other apartment complex, not mine, but another apartment complex on the other side of the fence, they weren't so lucky. They had a tree branch go through one of their units, so they're fixing that. Otherwise, everybody's okay. Outside of the very sad event in uh, it's near Roy, McKenna, and a tree fell on an event tent and killing one person, and that's when you need to get trees checked periodically to make sure that they're okay. Uh, I think the city of Lakewood's rethinking this. They said you have to have a permit to take down your own tree in your own yard. Well, when it's deemed unsafe, you know, they should let people make their own decision what's safe and what's not safe, okay? Taking down a tree that is diseased, rotting out, that type of thing. When you don't trust a tree doing something, you're just like, yeah, I like to keep it, but type thing. Um, I remember years ago when I lived out in Roy, we had this big evergreen, and during a windstorm, it was doing this number. It was whipping around on its uh, trunk and everything. And I was so afraid to either wipe out the fence, wipe out a house, either mine or the neighbor's. And we chose to take it down. We did some checking. They did some internal checking on the tree. Yeah, it was rotting out in the center, and so was the stump. So it had to come down. Um, so anyway, just periodically check your trees to make sure that they're okay. Now, there's a couple of things we want to talk about, and you saw my title, The Ineptness and Stupidity of the Trump Group, and we all know how stupid and inept they are. They don't know how anything works. They have no experience working in those respective fields, right? So, I thought Trump was going to make America first, which is a big joke. You know that he wasn't going to do that. He makes these promises, but he doesn't carry them out. Okay? He's kind of on two different tracks of thought, if you will. Farmers are angry and the ranchers are angry, and I don't blame them. Well, they said they deserved what they got because they voted for him. No, they didn't really vote for them. Okay? You don't know if they voted for Trump or not. Literally. What I think what happened was Elon Musk, he has bought the election for Trump. And like, you remember last fall when the numbers were coming in? All of a sudden they were coming in so fast it wasn't even funny. Kamala Harris should have won it. Trump was cheating. Frankly, he should not been allowed to run because he's a convicted felon. And I thought convicted felons cannot run for office, both on the federal and local level. There was one time, for example, there was a Roy mayor. I don't remember her name, but Roy Mayer, she flew under the radar, so to speak, and became mayor. Well, they found when she complained about this rock hitting her car by a a dump truck. She was driving too close, more than anything. Did a background, ran a check, and sure it came up that she committed a misdemeanor crime. And, well, actually, one felony and one misdemeanor crime. And she should have not ran for mayor. She got caught. And so the council decided to remove her, and they got a new mayor in her place. And the new mayor happened to be a new resident, and she basically got in trouble. So, we need to make a lot of the federal levels held accountable, and we need to make Trump held accountable. Well, people are saying, well, you're preaching in the choir. No, when you say that, you're condoning what Trump is doing. Okay? You're condoning what he's doing, and you're not growing a spine by going after him and saying, no, you don't do this. The guy should be removed from office now. And also, there were no permits filed, get this, for the so-called ballroom construction. There were no permits filed on tearing down the East Wing, and no precautions were in place. The East Wing was full of asbestos. And those of you who don't know what asbestos is, it's a very strong material that causes lung cancer if not precautions are not taken. Okay. Why do you think in the last 30, 50, 60 years a lot of people had lung cancer? Because they were exposed to asbestos, and it was finally found out it was the link to lung cancer. Those that smoke, smokers and non-smokers alike. But there were no safety precautions in place for the tear down of the East Wing. It should never have been touched. He should have left it alone, and if he wanted to do a small ballroom, he could have put a smaller building on the very end of the East Wing. He could have done that. Put in what? Oh, 3,500 square foot ballroom at the end. And yes, there are storms that go through DC. Okay, they're really bad in the winter and everything else because they get a lot of rain, and especially during hurricane season. So either his crew's not thinking things through, or they're trying to cut corners. Now, good members of Congress, especially in the House, are now doing an investigation as to why there were no permits placed and there were no approval or anything. Why is he circumventing Congress when he's required to file a plan and everything else with Congress? Anytime you do alterations to the White House belongs to the people. And he certainly didn't get my permission. And he didn't get your permission either. Okay? I have a number of friends that visited Washington, D.C. and, did the whole tour and everything else. And the East Wing was wonderful. Because remember, during Christmas time, it was decorated. It was created kind of like a fantasy land along that. Well, now that it's gone, there's nothing to really decorate. Trump is being stupid, okay? He's being stupid. Miller's being stupid. Miller is the one that should be in jail. Stephen Miller, okay? The guy needs to go to jail. now. He's endangering everybody. And people say, well, you're being radical. I said, no, I'm being practical. Big difference. So I do feel sorry for the farmers and ranchers that they were duped. And they should have checked their sources and everything else and say, nope, 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 nope. Not going to vote for this guy. And they probably did vote for somebody else or vote for Kamala Harris, and I'll bet you that their votes were switched. It's just a theory, okay? Now, the GOP keeps saying it shut down the Democrats' fault. GOP, news alert. No, it's your fault. You're the ones that are causing the shutdown because you're the majority in the House, or somewhat majority in the House and the Senate. Very thin majority. Open the government back up, you idiots. Open it back up. And GOP, shut up. I'm tired of your antics. You guys are being a bunch of stupid idiots. Why do you condone what Trump is doing? Because now you're complacent in it too. You guys are GOP there. The MAGAs are being accomplices. You're harboring a criminal is what you're doing. And people say, well, Trump's not a criminal. He's a convicted felon. And he should be in prison now. His cases are never going to go away. It's not going to happen. They're going after Letitia James and Mr. Comey. That's not going to work. Because the courts will look at this and look at Trump cross-eyed and go, nope, throw the case out. The prosecutor is now in trouble herself because she did a number of illegal things. Either Trump is telling her how to do illegal things, or she's doing it on her own. And she should know better, because she could lose her license on this. License to practice. So, anyway, but again, we need to push back. We really do. Push back, write articles, go to Substack and write articles. Because that the word gets out more and more. More and more. And look at the No King protests. Oh, speaking of protests, guess what Hungary did? They turned out, did their protest, great big one, and they went against this Orban guy who's the puppet of Putin, and people go, no, we don't want Orban, we want this other gentleman. And this other gentleman's doing really well in the polls, and there's a very strong constitutional law in Hungary that, in other words, it has a very strong guardrail there. And it does not allow Orban to do dumb stuff. And even their parliament says, no, you do the elections, and it's going to be free and fair elections. Okay? People are protesting. Japan is protesting against what Trump is doing. So is Malaysia. And Trump says, well, I have all these deals and everything. The majority of those deals need to be approved by Congress, Trump. The good majority of them. You should leave those deals up to the diplomacy or the trade and everything else, trade commission, because they know what they're doing. So anyway, let me check my calendar real quick. Hold on a minute. Okay. Oh, good news. My elevator at my apartment complex is back up and running. And I took out my garbage first time this morning. So it feels good. It really does. And the elevator is wonderful. It's computerized. At first, when I first ran it, it was a little bit rough, but it was still in the process of breaking in and everything. It was getting better and better every time you use it. Very, very smooth. Okay, and when I talked to our maintenance guy, he says it'll break itself in. It'll work. Keep on working better. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, I will see you on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I hope all is well, and just keep on pushing back. If you have any comments, you could either leave it on my the chat here or on my YouTube channel. And I'm still trying to. It's sort of like a learning curve because things change so fast in the social platform world. It really does. So, anyway, I will talk to you later. Love to all. Stay safe. Keep an eye in the sky. Mother Nature's not done with us yet. Hurricane Melissa is heading toward Jamaica. From what I understand, Jamaica. She's heading west. And she's a Category 5 right now in Florida. So batten down the hatches. And I will see you guys later. Love to all. I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay? Bye-bye.